So I just realized something. I've been deep in thought. Smoked a little bit, obviously, but I'm an empath, right? A lot of people say that shit. A lot of people say that shit. Some people I could tell, yeah, I could tell. Some people I could tell you just saying that to be like to fit in, because that's like esoteric culture these days is like very prominent. But anyways, I'm a fucking empath. You know what I'm saying? And I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But something that I noticed as I get older, right? I have to keep separating myself from people that I actually like really fucking care about, just because I notice like their perspectives become mine, not just thought wise, but like my emotion wise, energy wise, like their energetic perspective, right? Since I'm trying to be there to listen to people, I'm putting myself in their shoes, right? Like constantly. If you talk to somebody every day, it's kind of like you get trained. You know, at work, when you keep doing the same job over and over and over again, it's like second nature, right? And I didn't really think about this shit, but it's the same thing with like when you're fucking constantly putting yourself into somebody else's shoes to help them out. You're doing yourself a disservice, because I just had to separate myself from a couple people that I really care about. One of them in particular was like a love interest, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't do it because like I was trying to find all these reasons, but I mean there was a lot of fucking reasons, but all those reasons came from this, that because that they're at a point in their life where they're in a different headspace than me. They're like really big into like experimenting all these different things, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna go into deep, like just experiencing life, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I already went through that, right? But I'm a little bit older, so it's like just their whole, not just the experimentation. That's just like a side effect to describe like where they're at energetically. It is kind of like just don't give a fuck, sick of having to give a fuck, been constricted their whole life. Makes a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying? But for me, it's like I'm an alcoholic addict and I need control and I need repetition, because what they're doing, I already went through that and I went ape shit for years in my early 20s and teens, right? Because I had a rough life too. But, anyways, they enjoyed kind of seeing the older version of themselves, right? And I would give advice. And it's like the more I spent time with this person, the more I would regress and kind of get worse little by little, and the old habits started coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like I drank again and shit, right? And I started getting snappy. And then I started just thinking negatively and falling into these almost permanent spell of depression, which I had taught myself how to think more positively, right? And it worked. Like it was almost permanent. Like if I would get depressed, it would be for like a couple minutes. But then I would remind myself that how silly it is, right? But like after a while of like a couple months being around this person, like it just started to become like an everyday thing. Like when I was younger, like fuck, just always depressed and full of anxiety and feeling the need to drink, and then that shit perpetuates it because it's an estrogenic compound, which is gonna make you more emotional, and it's a depressant. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things going on. It's gonna release cortisol, a lot of shit. But yeah, yo, like somebody could be so beautiful inside and out, right? But depending on where their energy is and what yours is, it might not be an energetic match, because they were definitely getting better by me being around until I started getting worse. Because then the power structure kind of shifted. At first, I was like a role model. This person like looked at me like almost like a celebrity and shit, right? But then after a while of me giving that advice and giving that positivity, I started to like degrade, and they started to become more like a powerful presence, more confident and shit, right? Than when I first met them. Not to say that they weren't, but it was a lot more so. And then when it got to a certain point, I digressed, and when I digressed, it kind of just we were pushing each other away, kind of, right? So I just decided like I could feel this old kind of like half empty kind of mindset that I had overcome. I felt it coming back. I'm rambling and shit, but it's it sounds like duh, right? Now that I'm saying it, but like for the longest time, I just didn't know what the fuck was going on, right? I just thought there was something wrong with me, but what's wrong with me is that I'm like like, I don't know what the fuck you call it. You know how mozzarella cheese, if you cook, you know this. Mozzarella cheese, if you leave it around onions, it'll taste like onions. If you leave it around oranges, it'll have an orange citrusy taste. That's a quality of mozzarella cheese. If you didn't know, but I'm like mozzarella cheese, dog, with people. So it was like only powerful people. Unless, you know, I could do it like in spurts. Like I'll talk to you like once a month. I tried to do that, but like it's kind of like there was like a codependency kind of addiction going on there. You know what I'm saying? Real, real. I'm glad. I mean, it kind of sucks, but at the same time, I'm glad that ran its course because I learned a lesson. I'm sure they learned a lot of lessons, and some of this, what I'm saying, kind of slipped out because my art started to decline in quality and creativity and pizzazz like I usually do in my rhymes too. Then as soon as we separated, I've been through like, you know, a couple of days of like fuck, like sadness, but now I feel fucking great because it's like I could feel it coming back. Just that power, that energy of myself. You know what I'm saying? And I just have to be careful with, because I have a couple friends that they make this positivity feel more so, right? Like my artist friend. I'm not gonna say her name, but that's how her energy is. It enhances me, right? And I think it's vice versa too. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I need. And I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna neglect those people that need like a boost. But as far as like, you know, like courting or like, you know, talking to on a daily basis, that's not gonna be acceptable anymore. It's not, because that shit took a toll on me. Because I thought since I had to fix my thoughts that it wouldn't affect me, but that's not how it works. It's because I've been around so much either positivity or by myself. That's it. That's how I was for like a while. You know, and just reading books. And I stopped doing that because I just lost the focus and energy to do that. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it, I'm gonna make this a Flow Vice episode.